Hello, this is a demonstration of doing some massage techniques on the bottom, and then we'll do the top of the foot to help with Taylor's bunion, or a bunion over on the fifth digit over here. So we're going to start on the bottom of the foot, and you want to start right above the heel pad, and we're going to use the little inchworm move. And so you just pretend that your thumb is a little inchworm, and you're going to massage using that alternating pressure all the way up onto the toe. And once you get to the toe, make sure that your fingers are supporting it so it doesn't end up getting pushed all the way back. And then we're just going to start that again. Okay. And you get to choose like how deep, how quickly you want to apply this inchworm technique. Technically, this is a tool from the reflexology box. But it works really well for this, just to help warm up the tissue and gently wake up the nervous system, particularly if you have a little bit of neuropathy going on in your feet. This is a good way to get in there and get a little bit of relief with the muscles that are running in this area right here. Specifically, we're working with the flexor group, and then there's a little individual muscle that just goes to the little baby pinky toe here. Okay. All right. If the inchworm is not working for you, feel free to glide, but when you're gliding, make sure that you're not hyperextending your joint. Try to keep your joint really supported. And the way that you do that is to support it with your index finger. Okay. And glide that up. This also works. Works just as well as the alternating pressure. It's just a different way to do it. Okay. I just like the alternating pressure as a warm-up, and then you could come in and do some nice deep glides in here. All right, now we're going to work with a more complex muscle structure. So the attachment for this guy is like right here. And so it plays with the muscles that do the flexion and the abduction of this little toe here. And this one, we're going to use our alternating pressure again, our little inchworm, and we're going to work from the great toe to the little guy over here. Okay. And then if you want, go ahead and just glide that. And then we're going to come down and we're going to glide at an angle. So you start between the fourth and the fifth toe, and then slide down at an angle, again toward that heel pad area. Okay, and do that several times until it feels nice and warm in there. Okay, now we're going to switch and go to the top of the foot. Okay, at the top of the foot, we're looking to get between the knuckles of the toes here. Okay, so you're going to come in, use the side of a finger, and come in right between the fourth and the fifth and hang out there. It will be tender, so please use the appropriate amount of pressure that is comfortable and doable. You should be able to breathe through this easily. Lighten up if you're holding your breath, or if it's making it feel really uncomfortable. Once it starts to feel less tender, then you can come in and just kind of roll your fingers into that space in between there. Okay, there are little tiny muscles and ligaments in between the knuckles and then the long bones of the foot. And so we just want to give them a little bit of attention and soften those up. And then you're going to hold the inside of the foot from your first to your fourth toes. Just create a clamp there. And then you're going to take your other hand and you're going to pull that long bone toward the wall behind you and push it forward to the wall in front of you. So it's like breaking a popsicle stick and just moving that back and forth. Okay, this helps to stretch out the muscle tissue, increase the blood flow, help the cells get a little bit more nutrients. This is also a feedback that if you wear shoes all the time, you don't really get. Okay, all right. Okay, that is the massage part of helping to take care of your tailor's bunion. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to do a demonstration for you as part of the foot care series for bunion, whether it's a tailor's bunion or a bunion at the big toe. We're going to choose a tool. So I've got two in my studio to choose from. So the first is Yield Golf Ball. Um, Experiment with this. Please don't work so hard that you bruise yourself using this tool. That's a really common thing that I see in people. You don't need to work that hard. You don't need to use that much pressure. The muscles in the feet are pretty small. Um, so just work in comfort, not in pain. I know the deep pressure feels really good down there, but I don't want you bruising yourself. The other choice is something with a little bit more give. So this is about the size of a golf ball, but this is soft, made of plastic. If any of you find where I can get a bunch of these, let me know because I can't find them. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the recording for a moment and get my camera set. Make sure that you take the time to choose your tool. If you don't have either one of these, you can certainly use like a wool dryer ball would work, a tennis ball would work, a foot roller can be helpful. Whatever you have available. If you don't have a foot roller, a water bottle also works. Okay. All right. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to work with a golf ball primarily because of visibility. And we're going to start on the ball of the foot. Okay, so that's the area just below your toes. Start underneath the great toe, and you're going to roll it out toward the small toe. Okay, push down and roll. All right, and then I'm just very gently bringing it back to the starting point. Push down and roll out. And you can certainly just go back and forth, but as you can see, it's a little bit more challenging. So if we just push down, roll it out to the side. So we're working on a very specific muscle when we're doing this. And this is the muscle that contributes to pulling those joints toward the middle of your foot. Okay. All right. Now, the second place that we're going to be working on, we're going to go from the knuckle of the big toe right here and down at an angle toward the center of the heel pad. Okay. At an angle toward the center of the heel pad. All right. So get your golf ball underneath on that knuckle and then roll it toward the center of the heel pad. Okay. We change the angle here. Dun, dun, dun. Alrighty. Who doesn't love to do a little bit of dexterity work? And you can see how slowly I'm going. One of the secrets to getting really deep into your tissue is to go slow. This is not about speed. This is about productive care. There we go. That feels really good. Okay, and this is addressing the second part of that area, that muscle that we worked on the ball of the foot. It has two heads. This is the long head. Okay. Oh, I feel my body relaxing. It feels so nice. Okay, now we're going to do one more. So this is more specific to Taylor's bunion. So we're going to go from the knuckle of the fifth digit straight down, and you want to stop ahead of the heel pad. Okay. So from the knuckle of the fifth toe straight down the foot, stop just ahead of the heel pad. All right. So again, I've got the ball underneath and I'm extending my toes so you can see the placement of the ball. You are going to let your foot be soft and relaxed, okay? All right? So you're going to bring that down, roll it straight down. Let it go. Okay? Good. All right, and then bring it back. Get it underneath that fifth digit. Nice and easy. And this muscle, it's so itty bitty. It's just a little teeny tiny guy. Okay, so we want to be nice and respectful. But you can see that my foot was like, no, we want to go back to the other one. Okay, there we go. And remember, so now I'm going to do it the way that you are going to do it. Okay, let your other toes be soft and just go along for the ride. And nice and easy, just roll that ball almost to the heel pad. Okay, get it underneath the knuckle. We'll let the rest of your foot just completely relax and come forward. Okay. All right. Okay. That is rolling out your foot using a ball to help with the muscles that are causing, um, that contribute to, they know they're not the sole cause, but they can contribute to the bunions either at the big toe or at your little toe. All right. Thank you. And I hope you find that helpful.